What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another Fantasy Puck video. It's Chris here, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys our Week 19 preview. Before we get started, guys, what I want to know in the comments down below is, did Toronto give up too much for Ryan O'Reilly? They gave up a lot of draft picks to make sure that they retained a lot of cap so he could fit on the team. I just wanted to want your guys' opinion down below. What do you guys think? Did they give up too much? Do you think it was a good enough price because of the cap retention? And they got a Chari back as well too. So just let me know in the comments down below what you think of the trade. Personally, I think that it's going to depend on how O'Reilly produces. Honestly, you're paying for the guy's name pretty much at that point too. Not that O'Reilly's been good at all this season, but he has shown that he can play in the playoffs. Former Conn Smythe winner, so I think it was a fair price. Toronto probably gave up a little bit too much though. And guys, if we get 100 likes on this video, that'd be unbelievable. I know a lot of you guys like to skip the intro because I spiel a whole bunch of stuff, but if we could get a like on this video, that'd be very much appreciated. As well as, guys, if you're interested, make sure you're signing up for Prize Picks and use code PUCK. They will match your initial deposit up to $100 if you guys are interested in Prize Picks. We have a lot of contests and stuff and bets that we throw in the Discord as well too, guys. Also, right there, be sure that you're in Discord. Fantasy hockey trade line is just right around the corner, and the NHL trade deadline is right around the corner. So a lot of moving pieces are going to be happening in the NHL. Be sure that you're in the Discord if you have any fantasy hockey related questions, whether it's towards your team, making sure those final trades are in before your guys' deadline hits. Really important. So if you guys have any questions, be sure to hit us up in Discord. And guys, be sure that you're following us on Twitter. We do as well have other premium options for you guys available on our Patreon, and I would highly recommend looking into things like the trade analyzer, as well as we do have the playoff schedule available to you guys in our Discord as well too. So be sure that you're doing all of that. Let's get into the video. Starting off, the best schedule this week. Again, Monday, Tuesday seem to be always jam-packed, and the off nights so far are the Wednesday, which is the 22nd, the Friday, which is the 24th, and then the Sunday, which is the 26th. A lot of teams play 4 games this week, guys, so a lot of versatile options available to you guys if you just want to, grab a player that plays 4 times this week and you're not necessarily too concerned about conflicting off nights and on nights. There's a lot of teams there. Basically, I really tried to focus on the 5 teams that are down below that play on mostly off nights for you guys so that you can get these players in regardless of what your lineup is like. So Buffalo, LA, Minnesota, and then the 2 big ones are the Islanders and the Jets. So the worst schedule, again, kind of the offset, the Monday, the Tuesday, the Thursday, and the Saturday. And then these teams only play 2 games. So if you have a lot of players or some of your elite players on one of these teams here, whether I know Colorado is obviously pretty popular, Dallas, Florida, all have really good players on it. If you have players on this team and this is a really important week for you guys, you're playing a really important matchup, you should definitely 100% stream a player just because of the fact that you're only going to get them for 2 games. All right, starting out with forward streams. Brock Nelson, 71% owned, but he's been great as of late. If you count faceoffs in your league, he's been an absolute stud for you the entire season. Shoots, hits. He's been producing as well too. He's a lock on that second line so far. Just because they moved Matt Barzal to the wing. Barzal was 73% owned, and he's been really good too. He doesn't score as much, but he's very good on the power play, very good assist. So if you like Barzal over Brock Nelson, I totally get it. 2% higher probably. If Nelson's available, chances are Barzal's available also in your league as well too. Anders Lee, on the other hand, a little bit more versatile, a little more widely available to you guys. Only 56% owned. Definitely scores a lot more goals. I think he's got 26 on the year so far. He's a lock on that first line with Bo Horvat and Matt Barzal. Really good streamer. He's probably my number 1 for this week, just because of the schedule that the Islanders have. They get 3 off nights, and Anders Lee has just been really good for you guys so far. Dylan Cousins, not the best schedule this week, obviously. The Buffaloes, the LAs, the Minnesotas, they have the second best schedule because they play 2 off nights, not 3. But Dylan Cousins has been great. He's a lock on that second line. He shoots, he hits. Great on the power play as well too. Power play 1 time, so 56% owned. Same thing with Anders Lee. If you need a center, that's probably your best center available to you right there for the week. Same ownership as Anders Lee at 56%. Blake Wheeler, used to be really good fantasy wise because of how many peripherals and category coverage that he used to have, but he doesn't really do it much anymore, and he's been playing the third line in Winnipeg with, I believe they have Ehlers there now on the third line. But his production has been great as of late too. So if you just want a guy that's power play one, like you're in a points league, you need a streamer for the week, 55% owned. Like he's been good as of late too in terms of his production. It's just where his peripherals are, they kind of lack. So if you're just interested in like grabbing points and power play points of the week, Blake Wheeler's a great option for you guys. And right wing is pretty scarce in terms of that position as well too, guys. Philip Deneau, ownership wise, he's just a good option, like 32%. You're getting a second line center on LA who just seems to continuously be scoring. And we'll get to a couple of the LA guys later on, but like Deneau's solid, like power play time as well too, power play 2, line 2, mostly known for a shutdown role, but like his peripherals aren't bad either. If you count faceoffs, this guy's a gem. But he hasn't been terrible as of late. He doesn't really produce at an elite level, but for 32% owned and a good streamer for the week, I think it's a good option. If you guys can't get Cousins, he's probably your next best option. All right, some deeper options. Victor Golofsson. If you need goals, if you need shots, this is your guy. Buffalo is in do or die mode right now. They just got to win if they're trying to make the playoffs. 15% owned as well too. Should be readily available to most people. Really good option if you need shot volume and goal scoring. Chips in power play as well too. Power play 1. So good option for you guys if you need another right winger. Cole Perfetti. He is a good option because he's in the top 6. He gets power play 2 time. He's very versatile. Center, left wing, right wing, triple eligible for you guys that need it. His production hasn't been great as of late, but he's still playing in a top 6 role. He's still getting power play time, and his schedule is one of the best in the week. So for 14% owned, like if you need somebody that's like dishing out the puck and getting points for you guys, I think Perfetti's a good option. His doesn't really hit too much either. His shot volume's kind of meh as well too, but there's definitely better options if you're looking for that. Speaking of better options for peripherals, I really still like Kyle Palmieri, guys. Like he hits, he shoots a ton, and then he's playing in the top, like a top 6 role in the Islanders, and he's on the power play as well too. Really good option for 8%. I have him in one of my deeper leagues. He's been great. I've been recommending him a lot lately. Definitely stream him this week if you're in a deep league. Would 100% recommend this guy just because of he's got good peripherals, and then he plays a top 6 role in power play as well too. So his production has been solid also, and the Islanders need goals, and he seems to be able to put the puck in the net occasionally. So definitely recommend Palmieri. And then Quinton Byfield's been really good as of late. He's slotted on that top line with Kopitar and Fiala, so great coverage there as well too. On the left wing, I'm surprised he hasn't got left wing eligibility yet, but I'm hoping that's coming in the future for you guys. Really good deep option if you guys need somebody. He's been really good as of late as well too. Even his peripherals, like his shot and hit volume, hasn't been terrible. He chips in a couple each game, so he should be a solid option, and LA's got a good schedule for this week. So 3% owned, really good option for you guys there if you guys need to pick up a deep option. Speaking of deep options, Jordan Greenway. Now, he hasn't been good at all this season, but given the fact that Minnesota has a good schedule this week, and he still shoots and hits, like for 1%, like in the deep leagues, and if you can't find anyone else and you're like, I really need a guy, I think Greenway's fine. He's been linked to being traded as well too. I don't know how likely that is that it happens this week, but I think, for 1%, guys, like you could. It depends. Like you look at somebody of other teams that play 4 games this week, and you could probably find better options. But I have Greenway on this list just because of the schedule. And if you need a guy that is like you're in a super deep league and you just need a guy to get shots and hits, like Greenway's a pretty good option for you guys as well too. So moving on to defensive streams. A lot of the teams like Islanders, Winnipeg, LA, Minnesota, like all those guys have solidified power play 1 quarterbacks. So it's difficult to get like ownership on a guy that's power play 1 as a streamer, then that's going to be available to you guys, right? Like Morrissey's like over 80% owned. Like you won't be able to get Doughty either or Noah Dobson. And Minnesota's going through this thing where they're kind of showcasing Alex Goligoski. And so Kalen Asson's been held out of the lineup a couple times. But let's get into the players here. Like Neil Pionk's probably your best option. If this guy's available, power play 2, sees top 4 minutes every time. Like Winnipeg's been good. He hits a bunch too as well. Shot volume is pretty good, and if you guys count blocks, he's pretty good at that as well too. So a solid streaming option for this week. Same thing with Sean Dursey, like same as Pionk, pretty much just on LA. Power play 2, plays top 4 minutes. Like, you know what you're getting out of Dursey at this point during the year, guys. So those are 2 good options for some of the guys that are in less deep of league, like those 8 to 10 man leagues. These are good streaming options for you guys. And then Matt Dumba, he's been really good peripheral wise in terms of his shot, hits, and blocks. Good schedule again this week, 17% owned. I don't think he's getting moved, even though he seems to be in a trade rumor every 2 weeks for the past like 4 or 5 years. I don't think he's getting moved just because Minnesota's trying to make it. And unless they think that they really need goal scoring, I don't see them moving a defenseman. I think it's likely that they move Goligoski and gets a smaller piece before they move Dumba, even though he's on an expiring contract. So I think he's a safe bet. Like, the one thing with Dumba is he doesn't get power play time. If you want to look and check line rushes before and see if Kalen Addison's available. Kalen Addison's a very, very good low ownership power play 1 specialist. Like, he's just a power play guy, a quarterback that just racks up assists and power play points. So if you need that for the week, definitely check out the line rushes. Because again, like, they're showcasing Goligoski right now, and Addison's been held out of the lineup a couple times. So just keep an eye on that going forward. They have Goligoski on power play 1 for whatever reason, but Dumba's a good option in terms of peripheral stats. So I like him for 17%. And then a really good deep peripherals guy is Adam Pelech. Plays over 20 minutes a night, top 4 defenseman, like really their go-to guy, him and Dobson. Great schedule this week, like the best schedule probably, and is definitely, in my opinion, the best low ownership streaming option for this week, guys, if you guys need peripherals like shots, hits, and blocks. Doesn't get power play time, but, you know, plays a lot of minutes, high event defenseman. So stream Pelech if you need peripherals for this week. And then finally, goaltending. Now, this week was really bizarre in terms of goaltending, and you'll notice as we kind of get closer to trade deadline and to the end of the season, what's going to happen is teams that are in the mix for making a playoff spot aren't going to be playing their backup goaltenders against bad matchups. So this week's a good example for Nashville. They have 3 games and they all have a day's rest in between. I think one game is has a 2-day rest in between. And I expect UC Stars to start every single game for them. Like, it's past the point now where teams are just playing their backup against bad teams to like give them like they give their starter a rest. Like, it's go time for most teams now. So that's why the scarcity of the goalie streams is what it is, at least from what I found. Philip Gustafsson, if this guy is available in your league, pick him up right now. Do it now. Don't ask questions. Just go do it. Pause the video. Come back. He is the starting goaltender in Minnesota now. He's been unbelievable the entire season. He's been unbelievable as of late too. And just with Fleury, you know, kind of plateauing a little bit in terms of just like the usage that he gets, guys. Like, he because of his age, like he's not going to be able to play like 55, 60 games now for Minnesota. So they've been using Gustafsson and he's been great. Highly recommend you pick him up, and he's a great option for this week. If you can't get your hands on Gustafsson, I'd recommend Daniel Vladar. They play Arizona on the 22nd, so Vladar likely to start there because they have been playing Markstrom against the tougher teams, it seems like, as of late. Trying to get him back into the mix. They had a big win against the Rangers last night. Speaking of the Rangers, Yaroslav Halak, 9% owned, should be readily available at the end of the week. He gets a matchup against the Kings. The Kings are a decent team, but again, New York's on a back-to-back. New York's been just an absolute wagon this year, especially after getting Tarasenko. So I would feel comfortable in that matchup as well, too, even though LA's kind of been rolling as of late, too. But that is going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like and hit that subscribe button. I got another video coming for you guys tomorrow, which will be your final trade deadline targets. So stay tuned for that, too. And thank you guys again so much for watching. If you leave a like, you're the best. Have yourselves a fantastic rest of the day. I'll see you in the next video.